Alright, so we're gonna dingle ball hone these cylinders. It's been a long time since I've done that, so we'll see how this goes. I'll let y'all check out the cylinder walls before we get to dingle ball honing. Sorry, you can't really see too much. There's not even like a ridge really. You can't even feel a ridge on the top, so that's good. I think this one has the worst scratches in it, but we'll see how they come out. This one doesn't have really, it's got a couple scuffs. Pretty typical, I think, of LS's. Whole piston slap out of the factory. Probably should wipe them down real quick with a rag. That's sprayed WD-40 on them and they've been just chilling. We'll get to honing them, see how it goes. I've got some progress made. I got the heads taken apart. They're soaking right now in a bubble bath. Pistons are pretty well cleaned. I need to clean all of the hardware. Got all the new parts and bearings, all that shit. So yeah, just not a whole lot of fun watching someone take stuff apart. So we'll just stick to the important stuff. We'll see what kind of mess we can make. Okay, all right. Just keep on trying. It says 60 to 100 strokes per minute, whatever the fuck that means. Start with it spinning whenever you go to do it, so. Oh, let's see. Oh yeah. I'm gonna turn the speed up and we'll do some quick ones real quick. Golly, this is a mess. Let's see if we approve of this method. So let's just see how that cleaned up. Ooh, that looks pretty. That's pretty neat. Yeah, I think we could do a little more, go a little deeper. But I mean, the pistons stop at that down there, so it's not really a big deal. Obviously that wouldn't be there if the pistons continued to, or the rings continued to get that out. Alright, I'm not gonna make y'all watch me do everything, but if I fuck something up, I'll show you what I did wrong. So, alright, I'm gonna knock some more of these out and then we'll be back. Alright, I want to talk about this for a second. I kind of gave you some misinformation there on that. I don't know why I was speeding up the speed of the drill. I thought about it as I was, after that first one. I was like, nah, that's not what the hell I'm supposed to be doing. I've done this, it's just been a long time since I've done this. So what you want to do is speed up the strokes, basically like how fast you're going in and out, right? Not speed up the drill speed. I don't know what I was thinking. So I'll just show you what I mean by that. It'd be nice if they just sent me one that wasn't fucking bent. I mean, it certainly seems bent, doesn't it? Okay, so here's what they mean by the speed, you know. Strokes in and out, in and out, in and out. And then the last few ones you're gonna go as fast as you can move. And then we'll see what that looks like. I don't have a crosshatch gauge to tell me if that's exactly 45 degrees, but should be close enough for rock and roll. Do these a little bit more, not a whole lot more, because I don't want to take too much more out of them. Might change my oil too, my honing oil. I used just 10W30. I bought some honing oil, so I should probably use that. So we'll go ahead and I'll do that real quick and we'll be right back. This is the oil that I got. I bought it with the same BRM, Brush Research Manufacturing. I bought a 320 grit ball hone, just nothing real abrasive. I'm putting molly rings in it, so it doesn't need to be super abrasive. If you're doing cast iron rings, I guess you'd probably want a more abrasive one. All right. Why is it so wobbly? This does 500 RPMs, a little slower than what it suggests, like 600 RPMs. Let's see where that got us. That looks good. I am no engine builder. I'm not anything really. I'm just a dude winging it most of the time. So, you know, you get what you pay for watching me, you know what I'm saying? You can kind of see in there, see the cross hatching. And I'll go ahead and just knock out the other ones. And I just wanted to show you the proper technique to this. The proper technique is to take the fucking thing to a machine shop and have them do it. But I'm cheap and this will work for This isn't a high performance freaking build. This is literally just a tow pig. That's all we're gonna be doing, is just towing some stuff with it here and there. And this should do just fine. The new rings will break in and it'll be great. It'll be beautiful. I'm gonna knock out the rest of these and then we'll be back. All right, so I got the engine cleaned up and everything, all that fun stuff. I got a cam bearing tool. So I got this on Amazon. Comes with multiple different sizes for, you know, different engines. It doesn't come with any instructions, so I'm just gonna wing it here. So first thing we're gonna do is knock the old bearings out. So this is the size, is a number 4, whatever the hell that means. I'm gonna guess this goes on like this, so you don't have to tear it up. It's very long. So there's that. No, I guess they expect people to have 8-foot span reach arms. I don't know. I'm gonna guess that goes in the middle to keep it from getting locked together too easily. I did a lot of cleaning today. Y'all saw me, you know, do my honing, attempt at honing yesterday. Cylinders came out pretty clean. I pressure washed everything, ran degreaser all through all the oil galleries here, freaking just everywhere. Just pressure wash, soap, Dawn soap, pressure wash, degreaser, Dawn soap, pressure wash, brushes, scrubbing, all of that. We want to get all of the, luckily all that stuff is after the filter, right? All of that oil galleries are after the filter, so it should have caught most of it. I didn't see anything crazy coming out, so I think we're good there. All right, so this one, you know, you tighten this here, you twist that, and you got to hold that nut to tighten it up against the bearing. This little collar here, this rubber collar. So all right, that should be good. Should have grabbed a hammer before I did this. This is a little ridiculous length. You want to try to make sure you're centered up and not touching the block, obviously. Should probably chalk the wheels. See if it will actually do anything. Probably not, but hey, here's to wishing. Having wishful thinking, right? I haven't done this in a long time, so hopefully we don't tear nothing up. Alright, here's the old bearing. These things are junk. They're freaking 2-piece. They're 1 piece, but it's not like a seamless thing. You see that seam in there? Yeah, you can see some copper on those. So, yep, there's one. Alright, slide this in. Get to your next one. Tighten the rod up against there. It's like an expansion thing, you know. Hard to get it real straight considering the fact that I'm on the wrong side of the hammer. You want to definitely try to hold it as parallel as you can. Probably be easier if I turned the engine over. I'd be able to see what I'm doing better. That's one thing about doing this stuff at home. You end up having to buy a bunch of stuff if you don't know anybody that's got the stuff you need, you know? But that's alright. This won't be the last engine I'll build, I'm sure. Well, I know it won't, just because that's just how it goes. And now you see what I'm doing, I'll move you in closer. The fun part's going to be putting the new ones in without damaging anything. We'll just have to take our time and go easy on that. I know it doesn't, it's all oily looking, but I sprayed it down with WD-40 really well after I, you know, hosed it down. So good old water displacement. I don't know what this bearing feels like, sandpaper. Let's pull this out and make sure our expansion piece is still lining up correctly. You know, before we go to assemble everything again, we're going to make sure that we're going to blow everything out really good with the air. You just don't want any foreign materials in there, you know. That's why we had to do all this foreign material. Well, it was not foreign to begin with, but it quickly lost its visa, so it was foreign. It was no longer wanted to be in there, in the engine. It did not need to be in there anymore. Alright, one more to remove. I'm sure someone will come and tell me I did this wrong. There's a good chance that I did do this wrong, but this channel is mostly You learning while I learn, right? Us learning together. There's probably better videos for people showing you how to do this a better way, but this is the way we're doing it. So you can see where my tool is kind of touched the bearing. So whenever we go to install it, we're going to find a better method of doing that, because I don't want to damage the new bearings. Because those took way too long to get here. Next time I'll just order those straight from Summit, since I get stuff like next day from Summit without paying for any extra shipping. It's the wildest thing. But yeah, that's how that tool works there. I guess that's how it works. There's a good chance, you know, if I tightened it up more, it would keep the bearing from sliding back into this. But for pressing them out, it's not really a big deal. Have a look-see. Yeah, make some light. Yeah, looks fine. See your oil galleries there. Yeah, those look okay. See, there's some small little glittery spots. That's just from the old bearings. Might hit it with some carb cleaner, then hit it with air. Cross hatching came out pretty good on the cylinders. I think it'll run. I think they'll seal. There's just like dried oil or whatever you want to say, you know, whatever. I'm not gonna make y'all suffer through that, so we'll be back. I know you're thinking, what do we got, a torch? Is this the only way you can get around? Are you in a castle? Nope. I got this great idea. We'll see if it works. Where I take this and soak it with, well, this is the jack handle from a jack, and I wrapped a rag around it, taped it on there, so see if that'll help us kind of clean this dude up. Gotta be better than nothing, right? Just have to kind of force it around. I think that'll work. Already looks better than it did. It certainly ain't gonna hurt, you know what I mean? Just lots of carb cleaner. Yeah, just kind of push it up as you're going. Yeah, look at that. Look at all that crap it's getting. Look, and then whenever you spray it, it cleans it off too. Shoves it further into the rag. Just what we wanted. Sometimes I amaze myself. Looky there. Looky there. I'm sure there's maybe another method out there to do this, but I really didn't feel like looking it up. So this is what we got. This is what we're doing. There we go. I'll take that. Oh, my nozzle fell off. Nozzled you, my friend. Nozzled you, my friend. There we go. So that's pretty clean. Clean enough. Close enough for rock and roll. I'll get geared up, see if we can't stick some bearings in there so we can have a good time. Yeah. Alright, we'll be back. Alright, I'll give you a little rundown. That was an extension in there. I didn't need the extension in there. I'm dumb, so whatever. Here's this cone. That's good for, definitely helps and assists lining up the bar whenever you're installing your cam bearings. I just got these sealed powered ones. They're made in USA, so that's nice. So your cam bearings have positions. It's got a part number on there, so 1 and 5 are going to be 4511DR, FP 4511DR. Alright, well that's that one right there. So that's going to be the outside ones. Number 1 and number 5. And then number 2 and number 4 have the same part number as well. So they're 4512DR. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is take a Sharpie and I'm going to mark the top of these bearings, the middle, 12 o'clock or whatever. It'll actually, it's like 6 o'clock if you're looking at it from the top. So actually it's the bottom of the bearing, whatever. I just want to be able to line the oil galleys up. See your holes there? You want to line those up with the holes in the block. Otherwise you're not going to get oil to your, well, you're not going to get oil to your mains because it comes through here. I'll just show you on the front one. The front one's going to be the last one we put in. Okay. Verify that's the 4511. Alright. So, since this is the same as the rear one. See how you got your oil galley here. Well, there's not one on that side. Okay, there's only one, I guess, on these. Okay. Either way, we want to line that one up. The old bearings had 2 holes too. Yeah, whatever. Alright, so you see your oil galley, whatever the fuck you want to call it. Hole, you want that to line up. So we want that hole to line up basically in the middle of it. We want these basically at like, what's that, like 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock? The holes, 10 o'clock, 2 o'clock. So with that there, we'll mark the center of that bearing. And that'll help us get it lined up when we're putting it in place. Alright, so let's go ahead and find the middle of it. There's probably a more accurate way of doing that, but we just need to kind of get it pretty close just so we can, like I said, line it up, line it up. There we go. Put this back on here, tighten it up, 7/8. You want to make sure you're centered on here too, because you want your bearing going in straight. So you want it up against that metal to keep it from getting, what am I doing? I don't need to put that on yet because I gotta put it down in here first. Okay, let's slide this in place and then we'll put the bearing onto the holder. That makes sense. Now I can see lines in there where the old bearing was, right? Where it was resting. Alright. Got that bearing at the we're gonna call it 12 o'clock. It's actually 6 o'clock on the engine if you're looking at it the way it's supposed to be. Can you see that Sharpie mark on there? That's basically at the top, right? You know, little galleys are all, you know, in the same place pretty much. So we'll go ahead and tap this in. Why does it feel like it's not going? I don't want to mess anything up. See where we're at, see what we tore up, you know, all that fun shit. That doesn't look good at all. Son of a bitch. Okay, okay. Well, we may have fucked that bearing up. Well, shit. This is a hard lesson learned by me. I think you can buy individual bearings, so I guess there's that. See that? Because I didn't have it squared up in the bore, it was at an angle. See, just a learning experience. Like I said, you know, I'm learning how not to do things sometimes. Alright, so I'm gonna knock that thing back out. Alright, that's okay, that's okay. I knew this was gonna happen. I had anticipated it. I should have bought an extra set of bearings just to cover my ass. Alright, we'll be back. Alright, we're back at it again today. Got new, I had to buy a whole set of bearings, whatever. I got them from O'Reilly's. They were, I don't know, it was like $12 more to get them from O'Reilly's and be able to get them like today versus waiting until Monday, which is, today's a Thursday, so I didn't want to wait 5 days, 4 days, however many numbers of days. I didn't want to wait, so I paid a little extra. Anyway, I got a couple of them in already. I didn't have the pressure of you people watching me. Ugh. No, but it is kind of garring them up a little bit, but I'm just having to take a razor blade and I'm just chamfering the edge of them. Like this has a bevel, a chamfer on there already. If you can see that little side there, well, it's kind of marring it in. These are soft as all get out anyway, so the cam's extremely hard. It's not gonna damage the cam, but I'm taking the razor blade and just kind of rolling it around, just cleaning up that, deburring it essentially, you know. All right, I got the number 5, number 4 in, so we're gonna do number 3, the middle one. See how this goes. I've been taking and test fitting the cam as I'm going just to make sure that it's fitting. Yeah, we'll see what happens, right? Yeah, this tool's fucking shitty. I'm telling you, I've just got to stop buying cheap fucking tools. Really what it amounts to. Quit being a cheap ass. I like to kind of stick that there, just kind of line it up as best as you can. There's probably much better videos. I mean, I know there's much better videos out there. There has to be of someone installing cam bearings, so, you know, I am not an authority on this. Just basically don't do it the way I do it. Probably would be your best bet. Oh, fuck me running. See, I've messed myself up. I didn't even, it's not lined up. What an idiot. What a loser.
What an idiot. Oh, what a loser.
Damn it. I just want that bearing to come back out. That's all I want. It's not asking too much. Just driving my piece of shit tool out and the bearing's not moving. Sweet. Great. How are we gonna get that out? Luckily, I've got a spare one if that one gets fucked up, so I guess there's that. So I get talking and not paying attention to what I'm doing. You get to watch me drive the damn thing back the other way. Good times, good times. We're having a good time. In case you're wondering, I'll be here to remind you, we're having a good time. Gotta get creative here, because I don't want to knock the other bearings back out. So, we'll take this piece of shit here. God, this thing's stupid junk. Alright, we'll take this and put it in backwards. This, put it in here to the best of our ability. Try not to cross thread anything, alright? Like I said, not doing it twice. Probably not doing it right. Which is pretty much the story of my life. There we go, there's that. So if you do that wrong, you know, not that big a deal, I guess. Kind of time consuming, pain in the ass. Probably just take a razor blade and clean that up just to kind of give it a fresh start.
Maybe we should call ourselves the Febreze Brothers, because it's feeling so fresh right now. Right?
Let's do another fresh start, because I just wanted to punch you in the face.
Fresh start.
It's the last one.
Why does everything got to be so sharp inside of these damn things? Oh, that was almost a bad deal. Almost dropped that bearing. Wouldn't have been fun. Wouldn't have liked that. You don't want to do this over the engine, but I'm just taking that and just... Alright, we got it lined up this time. Good grief. Okay. We need to go a lot further. Well, not a lot, but it seems like a lot when you're beating the hell out of something. That was a long time. It took me a long time to get one bearing in, hadn't it? Away she goes, I suppose. Oh yeah, we got a little ways to go there. That about does it. You will see here in a second. Assembling an engine is very time consuming. There's a million damn steps. I got to do a little bit further. I don't know if you'll be able to see what I'm talking about here, but I don't know if you can see the mirror or not. If you look at that mirror, you might be able to see that it's not lining up. I can't really tell if you can see or not, but there's a hole where the oil needs to go through, and it isn't completely there yet. Assembling an engine is very time consuming. It's not for everybody. Wish I had the money to just pay someone to do it, but I don't. So this is where we are. A budget-ish kind of rebuild. Yep, there we go. Good to go there. Alright, that's smooth. The other two bearings in. Be more gentle than I am. I'm like a bull in a china cabinet most of the time. Alright, we can do this. Two more of these sons of bitches. Just want to not be able to feel any ridges, you know, any raised spots. One more. I feel like I'm killing this damn thing. Oh yeah, definitely looks like I'm fucking killing it too. What a piece of shit. I gotta send this fucking garbage back. This is aggravating to no end. Like, who machined this? Obviously some shitty machine machined it. I've got an extra one of those, so there's that. So I guess I'll just try to knock this fucker out. How frustrating. I'm so sick of this shit. I'll show you what I'm talking about. You look at that. See, it's all fucking gnarled up. That's good. It's not how we want that to happen, is it? Yeah. Yeah, this thing's fucking shit. It is just killing these bearings. I'm gonna look at this tool over here. I'll be right back. There's like these different little boots or socks or whatever you want to call them go in here. So I'll put the black one on there. I don't know if it's gonna make a shit. I feel like it probably won't. Probably still fucking the bearing up, you know. It's not near like it was. So there's that. Throw that tool in the scrap pile, I guess. Shit. What a piece of crap, man. Don't buy this. I'll put a link in the description of the tool not to buy. I'm not actually doing this on the bearing surface. I'm just doing it like on the ridge or the outside lip edge. Here we go. You just don't want to feel a ridge or anything. Okay, let's blow all this out. See how the can fits. Fuck. Ah, too fucking far. That's not bad at all. It's a nasty gear. The old one. Alright, so I guess that's gonna wrap up this portion of the video for the day. And I'm gonna take that cam back out here in a little bit and get ready to start doing the main bearing plastic gauging. So we'll come back in for that here in a little bit. And at least show you what the clearances are and move on to the next part. Okay. Alright, so yesterday we put the cam bearings in. I went ahead and the front one, it was almost too tight, you know, so I just took some 800 grit sandpaper and I put it on, what did I use? It was a piece of exhaust pipe, actually, like 2-inch exhaust pipe. Wrapped the sandpaper on there and just lightly kind of clearance it a little bit, and now the cam spins much freer. It is mucho bueno now, so we're good there. Alright, so now we're gonna put the crank in and plastic gauge it. I'm not gonna record that whole process. I'll just kind of bring you back in after I get it to that point to where we're pulling the crank back out, because there's about 800 videos on YouTube on how to plastic gauge a LS crankshaft. But there's some things to remember, like to note. Like I was reading the instructions that came with the bearings. And it says here, the thrust bearing contained in this set was designed with 2 oil grooves on one side of the flange and 3 on the other. The side with 3 oil grooves must be installed facing the rear of the engine. If this, I have never seen anybody mention this, but there's 3 oil grooves right there, 2 oil grooves there. It'll only install with the tang anyway, but that's just something to you know, pay attention to. And I'll just, you know, show you. This is the middle one with the thrust bearing on it. You almost want to kind of roll the bearing in a little bit, but yeah, you just want to make sure your bearings are flush with the top of the ridge there. There we go. But anyway, I'm gonna get it all torqued down and all that crap, and then we'll come back in and we'll show you what the plastic gauge says and make sure it's within the clearance that we want it to be. So we will be back. Alright, one little trick. I do have this small square. It's like for 2x4s basically. It's a little speed square. But it works really good actually, because it's not too wide to fit in here. So it works I'll see if I can get you in here so you can kind of see what I'm doing. This has got, it's kind of raised up on this side. See, it's catching. So you can just take your square, smash that down, and make it flat. Make sure you're flush with the top and, you know, on both sides, you know. So that's one way to do it. I need to get me like a milled one of these, milled aluminum. But hey, it works. It's a good little tip. Little treat of the day.
Yeah, here we go again. Another treat from the road. Grand, wonderful, great banana. Trick of the day, great.
Anyway, we'll be back. We'll check number 5. We're basically at 1/1000th of an inch. So that's not bad at all, because it can be tighter than that, really. You know, if it was a race car, you might want a little bit tighter or looser clearance than that, but once again, right at 1/1000th, that's good. Yeah. This one will be hard to judge, but I can hardly get to it. But I can pretty much be able to tell by looking at it. It's gonna be the same as the other ones. Maybe a little looser here. So let's just try these tweezers. They're a little thinner in my fingers. Fat fingers. Yeah, about 1/1000th. I've seen a lot looser ones. Other guys doing this. Okay, so we got that done there. So I'm gonna clean the plastic gauge off the bearings and the crank, and you know, get ready for putting the the mains on permanent, you know, final install of the mains, and then we can work on doing the rods. I'll plastic gauge the rods, journals and all that stuff is next. Yeah, so after I get done assembling this, and we'll get back to it. I'm not going to make you watch me torque bolts down and stuff like that. That's just fucking boring. No one wants to watch someone do that. So, no, some people might want to watch it. If you're going to watch someone do it, watch someone who knows what the fuck they're doing. So, I don't know. I'm going to clean this up and get ready to... I'll put all the mains in, then we'll come back and we'll check the rings and all that stuff. Anyway, we'll be back. We're looking good. Alright, we're gonna put the pistons in. I got all the rings on there. These are, I checked the gaps and everything. They're within like the, you know, OEM's recommended ring gaps and whatever. These should, you know, were pre-gapped. They're just gapped for the, you know, factory bore and pistons and all that stuff. Like, you shouldn't have to grind the gap down, okay? What are we on, number 4 here? I put number 2 in already, so... I got this piston ring compressor from a estate sale, I think, or something. When I bought a bunch of tools, this was in it. It was a Blue Point, so that's cool. I'm like, well, Snap-on brand crap. Old, real old. But it's working. So if I'm right, the dot's gonna go forward, from what I understand, on your piston. I don't know if you can see that dot there. But that goes to the front. You know, you don't want to mix your pistons up. You want your, where you took out number 2, you want to put number 2 back in. All right. You want to make sure you get this flush up against the block. And there's an orientation that the rings have to go in. I'll kind of show you on the next one. Whenever we, I'll show you how to, you know, put the piston ring compressor on. You don't want to do that. When you're putting these in, there's some people use, I mean, there's different stuff people use for lubrication. My machinist buddy, when I took the crank to get it polished, he gave me some 4 piston rings, piston ring lube, assembly oil, whatever you want to call it. So that's what I'm using. Well, let me show you. I'll show you the orientation real quick. This is the front spokes facing the front of the engine. The rings are going to spin around while it's running, but you know, you want like you don't want your compression rings on the same side. You want them to be opposing. Then your oil rings, you want to have, let's see if I can see if you can see it. See this little tiny lower ring here for your oil ring? You want those opposing each other. And then this expansion ring it's like two pieces, or it's not two pieces, it's one piece but it's broke. I don't know if you can see that little line there. You want that on the opposite side of your actual control rings or whatever. So alright, so you want this lubed up as well. And you want to lube your rings up. You see I've put some in there. We'll squirt a little bit in there, kind of. It'll get more whenever you go to put the piston in there with the rings and all that stuff, but you can never have too much. Alright, just want to, I'd rather over lubricate this than under lubricate it, you know what I mean? You don't want to cause yourself some problems. Everything gets real slippery too, so, and whenever you're moving this around, it'll spin your rings around too, so you know, just kind of keep an eye on that. Like I said, I don't think it really matters a whole lot as long as they're not all in the same place. Otherwise you'll end up with an oil burner. And you want the skirt hanging out at the bottom a little bit. I already did a little repositioning so I can keep a better eye of the crank whenever I'm putting these rods in. Don't want them hitting the crank. Just kind of coat the cylinder walls with this. This is not assembly lube for your bearings, this is just for rings. So, you know, just bear with me. If I'm doing it wrong, I'm sorry. And this is not really an instructional video, just a documentation of what I'm doing. Just my own little personal journal, I guess you'd say. There you go. So that's how you do that. So anywho, I'm gonna put the rest of these in, and then once we get to the point where we're putting the bearings on the rods and stuff like that, then we'll be back popping back in. But I just need to get some stuff done, and it's hard to do that sometimes if I'm explaining what I'm doing when I don't know what I'm doing anyway. All right, back at it. I had some technical difficulties whenever I was doing putting the pistons in and everything, and camera didn't record any of that, so the pistons are in there. Engine's in a bag right now, everything's torqued down, all that fun jazz. Alright, we were gonna mess with the heads, but I decided I want to put the timing set on and everything, so we'll put this this plate on here. It's a cam plate. Anyway, yep, we're gonna put this on, and then we'll put the timing set on. These are the bolts that this style came with. Some of them have, you know, just regular hex head bolts or whatever. These are Torx, and they had Loctite on them, so I'll put some more Loctite back on. Makes me feel a little bit better if I go past that 11. That just seems real puny. I definitely want to record me doing this so that for my own reasons, really, just so I know that I did it and I don't screw myself over again. There we go. Yeah. Have to do a little filing on that little piece there. It'll ride. The rusty file will be just fine for this. That'll do. That'll do. Alright. See if we can't put the cam gear in without knocking the camera out. Oh, I gotta get the chain first. And this needs to be, where's our dot at? Should be a dot right there, okay. This, and then there's a dot on the cam gear. I mean the crank gear that needs to line up. see that. You see the dots there. Right there, right there. Alright, so now we will get our chain, our timing chain. And this is torqued to between 18 and 26. Well, it's gonna be 26 for me. Alright, I'm gonna get y'all out of my way. Get out of my dadgum way. Looks pretty well lined up there. These are ARP ones, so I'm just gonna, for the sake of my own peace of mind, we're Loctiting it. There we go. All right. That's 26. And those are lining up. So that's good. So, all right. Guess we need to get the heads put back together. I need to clean the valves still, so that's time consuming. So we'll do that. I'll get the valves cleaned up and everything so we can start assembling the heads. And we can put lifters in. I guess we put, yeah, we'll do all that. I need to put these plugs in the oil passages, oil galleries. Yeah, there's plugs that go in here, like it's like a freeze plug. And then I need to put the little barbell in the back. And just kind of, I need to make me a checklist of what I need to do. And then, yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna start cleaning up the valves and get the heads ready to be assembled so that we can look at putting all that shit on. Okay, we'll be back. You're not doing it twice or thrice or 4 times. Probably not doing it right. Alright.